I've been keep messaging this. The select rotation looks horrible. It's because of this. I know it's not something that I just figured out this thing in a matter of like 2, 3 weeks. I've been doing this thing for years. I know when the trending market is, how many of these stocks will start coming, the rotation will improve, and how many of them. We need a couple hundred here on that list. This is when we're gonna see the actual market breadth will improve. A 1 day, 2 day session is just not gonna do anything because we're not seeing enough names here. So, so which one are these? That's it. So you telling me now that these stocks that that's showing a promising momentum is willing to catch up? Are they gonna move the S&P 500, which is the biggest company here on this? Costco, Sherwin-Williams is a Dow 30 stock. That's it. Will you think the Costco and Sherwin-Williams are gonna move the entire market up? No. We need leaders. And we need a lot more names here. So if you just wanted to see an actual the 100 itself here, so whatever is going on here, they're not here yet. But that doesn't mean that these stocks are not holding up. Of course they are. Like AbbVie holding up really good, Amgen holding, like some of these healthcare names are J&J, like these are still holding strength. But you have to look at this way, that how many of them under the surface they're weakening. Is Nvidia right here. Didn't had a really good feeling about Nvidia into earnings. It got a pop, because we're sitting in oversold territory anyways. But Nvidia got a little work to do. You know, the one is actually trending is the blue ones. Okay, these are the this is where the actual momentum is actually picking up now the most. Not in the reds, blue ones. How many blues do you see? ACN is trying to move a little bit, got a little bit of a pop yesterday. Low got a bit of a pop yesterday. Some of these stocks in this one got a pop yesterday as well. So there's one, Walmart got a pop on earnings. Pepsi is fine. So they're like it's just not ready yet. We need leaders. Look at Microsoft. We're just waiting for this thing to turn blue. I changed the settings here so this way some of you will understand. We need This is red. The quadrant is all here, which is fine, right? Within a quadrant right there, they're all red, right? Something like there's nothing really pointing up. That's the problem. So the one that actually pointing up is here. We need this angle right there, this kind of a, but it's still red. This had a good pop yesterday. I looked it up. It has to turn blue. That is the confirmation of a momentum picking up. Now, this is the time to get in. VST, we can look it up yesterday. Okay, got a bit of a pop right there. That still has a sell signal on it. But again, what does it tell you? That in the next day or two, there's a pretty good chance that this thing is going to move because the momentum is picking up. But I don't have a buy here. So I'm not going to jump on a stock because the rotation looks so damn promising. It has to align up like all the thousands of trades that I've taken or all the trades that I took. You can't just um, thinking like, oh, this is moving. I just want to go in. That's not how it works. So it's a very complicated stuff, but you'll learn. Here's a here's a fraud. This is a problem with the stock. This red lines right there is the real price of an MSTR stock right now as of yesterday close. The right scale right there is the Bitcoin price. Okay. Now we're gonna do is we're gonna put both of them on top of each other, right? So the red one is MSTR. So here's the MSTR is on the move. So does the Bitcoin, right? So here MSTR was literally outperforming the Bitcoin, as you can see. So then from here, Bitcoin was starting to contract, still making higher highs and higher lows, and then had a little bit of a dip. So does the MSTR as well, right? Which went up all the way here. Bitcoin kind of stopped right there. Got a bit of a rollover. So now they're connected again. Now they you need to keep them together. That's how correlation works, right? We got a rally, so does the Bitcoin. Then it start pulling back, so does the Bitcoin. Here, as you can see, MSTR was showing much better relative strength, but Bitcoin was not really catching up, right? Here, the Bitcoin right there making lower lows. So does this one as well. Basically put a double bottom. If you just look it up side by side, and here comes a double bottom. Bitcoin improved, so does the MSTR, right? So you just compare them. So here comes a dip. The Bitcoin comes down here. Now watch here what happens. You see how they tied up? Here comes the fall. And look where Bitcoin went. Totally opposite. This is where that he went crazy with his leverage. That's when market's starting to realize, like, wait a second, it's happening. This is I I'm just I gave a little bit more time. I was like, just let's wait. This is very important. This is all happened in July, in this summer. Market had a pretty big boom, right? Since the April. April is down here. Here, though this is actually so this is the April low for the MSTR as well. That was 200 price right here on the right scale, left scale. So that's 200, right? So from 200, the overall market recovered. So does the Bitcoin is going up, and so does the MSTR. The question comes here. That was the first warning shot that triggered is when the price is starting to make lows and the Bitcoin is going other direction. It never happened here, right? So now look what happens here. Bitcoin made a new higher highs, pull back, and look what happened here. Made another higher highs. And look what MSTR was doing, making lower lows. This is bad right here. This is your warning shot right there. It's just because he's telling the world that we're one of a kind software company, and there's no other a company out there who is doing what I am doing. It's just trying to convince people because he went so damn leverage on his position, all the debt that he took now. It's all right here. Market is teaching him showing him a really clear picture. If he's leverage to a Bitcoin, then why this thing? So now the thing is, so here comes the lower lows. Here is the Bitcoins making higher highs. And now what happens is now from here, Bitcoin peaked. Look where MSTR was at this time. This now look how wide this spread has become. It has never got that wide in here, right? It's all kind of like trailing really, really close, which is fine. Look how wide the spread got. And now here goes a rollover on MSTR. Look where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is still better place than this pig right there. And look at the spread. So if you want to make a case for a bullish case for Bitcoin, Bitcoin first needs to outperform, meaning that it has to go on top of the Bitcoin price. Then after that, it will basically what it is right now. You will need to look for another divergence. Okay. The divergence one is going to happen. Well, I don't know that. It's going to take a long time. Wider and wider this spread will get, longer it takes because the Bitcoin price coming down. Now, if the Bitcoin price stops here and this one is still coming down here more, this spread right there is gonna get widen even more. So then the price reverse, so meaning the Bitcoin now starting to move up, and here is the curve on this one. But you see, it will still carry the same spread, the gap. So the Bitcoin now it has to rally and it has to catch up with Bitcoin somewhere around for Bitcoin to kind of like take a little bit of a breather, and then the MSTR has to make that divergence, make another crossover. That will go to the red line above the Bitcoin price like this all this time. You see the red line always stayed above the Bitcoin price. That's what outperforming the um, Bitcoin price. This is a long story now because we just have to track now to see how, well, first we need to find out where the low is. That's the question. It's not about paying attention to the actual spread when the spread will close. The spread will close eventually at some point. It could take a couple months, it could take a couple years. We're looking at a daily chart. We don't know that. But day by day, when you keep watching and watching, then we're gonna see like, okay, well, at some point that it will make that divergence is that's when the red line will go on the top of the Bitcoin price. Then we'll see like, okay, then they will trail together. And this dude got so damn leveraged, it's risky. It's dangerous. The market is showing him this. And every time is the Bitcoin is coming down, he's just keep on borrowing, keep on borrowing, keep buying. Well, I mean, if you want to buy, well, you have to wait for to see where the price stops. You don't know where the price can bounce for 2, 3 days, goes right back down. You don't know that, but he just keeps on buying because he's just like, I'll just keep adding. So you keep borrowing money left and right. the money that you don't have, that puts you into a massive debt. The only option that you have that you can refinance it, but you're gonna reach a certain threshold and it's gonna be out of this. Like, okay, wait a second, we're not gonna lend you any more money. You're a risky borrower. We can see where you're putting the money in. He's saying like, oh, the Bitcoin can go to $1. MSTR will be a fine. That's what he's saying the other day on the interview. He's like, Bitcoin can go to a $1. You're paying, Bitcoin goes to a $1. What do you think your stock is going to be? 400? It's already taken a massive hit. It's down 40% year to date. It's just you, and you still don't see that. Bitcoin is down 10%. You see because the gap right there, the spread is getting wider and wider each day. Bitcoin will find support. Okay. I think it's for this month, I think this is end. Should manage to hold. That's some running some fibs and had a potential there's a pretty thick layer of support right there that gave a little bit of a bounce yesterday, but it's not enough. Kind because we still had a lower bar yesterday, but I ended up putting a pin bar sort of. I kind of like the has got a huge pin, but that doesn't mean that these are the pins as well. Look at that, another flush to the downside. It's just, it's a bit of a falling knife and it has the death cross as well when the 50 crossover oh man, it's gonna change. Do this, remove that chart. It's just it's risky stuff. It's just you need it like this is what you want right there. You know? It's gonna take time, that's all. So that's the story on MSTR. Where is the bottom? It is gonna go to 150, 140, 130. I don't know. I don't know that. We have this. There's gonna be some sort of potential bottom. We're gonna find out when we're gonna have a buy signal. Okay, so is it going to 115 or 100 or 50 bucks? I don't know that, so it's it's way oversold. It's 15 out of sight right now, so it's due for some sort of a bounce eventually at some point. Look at the volume for the last 3 days. Look at the size of these volume. This is a gamma squeeze in reverse that he's doing. Basically, like you buying, but more you buy, more the price fell. It's very, very risky. If he wants to buy, at least give some time. If you know that the Bitcoin is rolled over, fine. We all can see that, right? It had a massive flush. It liquidated like pretty much all the top players. They're gone. Some commit suicide. That's how bad it went, right? So they're very like leveraged into a Bitcoin. They got flushed out, and now as a retailers, coming in trying to pick the bottom, but they don't have enough to compete with those big players who got liquidated. But in the end, nobody knows who's buying, who's selling. We don't know that. Price is coming down, fine. Yes, it's gonna, well, the swing is down, direction is down. Correct. We see that. Sell signal is there. We can see that. Where is the bleeding stops? That's the question, right? A 1 day bounce, a 2 day bounce, it's not going to change the direction of the swing. You know that. And I know that. A 1 day bounce is not going to trigger a buy signal either, right? So that will still give you a bounce here on a weekly time frame. It's on a daily time frame. So that when you go to a weekly time frame, as we just talked about earlier, you're going to get the bounces or a buy signals on a daily time frame. But your weekly engine is broken. You need 3 weeks of those higher highs on those ones, and then you'll potentially see when that signal will triggers over there. You know? So if you wanna focus on playing a counter trend bounce, well then wait for the signal. If you say like, well, I want to see like where the low holds and where the weekly signal will fire, that I would have a much, then it means that you will have at least a 3 higher weekly bars. That would kind of gives you a more confirmation, thinking like, okay, yes, you know what, I can potentially now call that as a bottom for now. But the weekly structure has to change first, and then you can make the case for a daily. Daily can bounce. I mean, the price doesn't mean the price cannot. Let's say if this is they put it this low here, doesn't mean the price cannot bounce right back to 200, 220, 230. But that doesn't change the overall structure if it bounced 30, 40, 50 points. Okay, so it's right now at this point, right? It's bleeding. On top of it, it broke this 10 bar pivot low right there. Volume is kicking in. It's just the overall picture tells you everything. Stock is down 41%. What do you expect? The price is going to recover 41% now um in the next 4 weeks by the end of the year? Stock is going to go flat for the year. We just looked at the divergences and just gonna close it like the gap that we just saw that is just gonna close in like in a matter of 4 weeks. Bitcoin bottom is in, and the Bitcoin is gonna rip right back to $200,000 by the end of December. I mean, what, to me, this half the stuff to even make sense, but you just want to say it to please people. Oh, he's going to. People are betting on Polymarket. The Bitcoin will be 200,000 by December. How? Look how much I mean, yeah, Bitcoin is volatile. It's not like Bitcoin cannot pop 5, 6, 7,000 points. Of course it can, but that doesn't change the overall structure that fast. It's still gonna require so much time. A 1 day bounce not gonna give you a buy signal either. Just get that thing out of your head. If you just want to play a very small counter trend move, well, then look for a 1 hour chart. Try to see if you can please few points in a 1 or 2 sessions. You're looking for an actual proper structure to build. You wait for the right confirmation. Wait for the rotation to improve. Momentum. Buyers are coming in. Volume. Buy signal. These are confirmation that you need. weekly swing is up. When your weekly swing is up and then you had a buy signal triggers there, those of course, well, the bigger trend is good, is healthy. You can easily buy them. But we don't have those the that screen now for me to make the case. It's just because the rotation that we just looked at them, there's only 15 names out of 500 stocks. I've never seen 50. I mean, I've that it like it got that bad. I mean, it remind me the COVID days, to be honest. That's how bad the rotation got that time. Some lousy like names that no one even heard of is kind of starting to show some love for the market, but the rest of them are just they're they're not there. But that doesn't mean they're not gonna come. Of course they will. And we're gonna be the first one they're gonna find out. But we just have to wait. We have to wait for the proper structure to build. We don't have that, like we don't have it yet. I mean, we can scroll through several names. Here's CRM. Like every stock right now, pretty much across the board, has a sell signal on it for like either for several days or for a couple weeks. And Netflix broke the 10 bar pivot yesterday. First close, second close, full close below it right there. This is not good. Right below this to this low, down 17%. I'm sorry, up 17% for the year. This week was down 6.21%. Plus, it has the little pink dot here as well. The metric signal that confirms the downside um, based on the pink dot. We need blue dot. Yeah, that we just it's just it's. I'm just saying the rotation is just not. Look at Microsoft. It's actually closed below 200 moving average yesterday, as a matter of fact. I didn't even notice that. Wow. That's the first close right there below the 200. What do you think is going to move the market back to the upside? We need leaders. They're going to move the market. What I was saying is like 5.8% move to the upside in a matter of 4 days, and we're losing a day as well that end the month. But look at these top names though, where they're going. We either going into some sort of a trading range on the indexes. Okay. That's how I see it so far. But we need a little more stocks. We see that where they're like, what's going on here because they're always going to have bigger movement. But what the heck is going on with indexes is just we need to look at them. Okay. S&P. Here we are. So this decline right there from peak to has a lot of overlaps, right? It's a lot of overlap. So this bounce yesterday was right here from this 10 bar pivot. And you don't want to, I mean, if I see a close, I mean, below this line, this low, which is this 65.50, yeah, we're gonna put a butterfly here to the downside because volatility right now is pretty elevated. So instead of doing a spread, which is not gonna pay much, we're gonna make I will tilt it a little bit. I was trying to price out yesterday on that little bit of a pop, but I was like, I'll play a little small counter trend move on a smaller time frame just to, make few bucks. But I'm gonna just put something here and just do if, and just leave it open for a while because I know that this is a fifth sell signal triggered here. Fifth one. We had four of them here on the run up since the April. Those four of them, okay, got failed. Why? Because the weekly swing was up. So the bigger picture was not broken, you know? So that's why I was like, just buy the dips and end up, and like in the end, they're all end up, failing because the overall structure was pretty bullish. I mean, I'm not talking about the Elliott wave point. It could be, I mean, there's definitely looks like some sort of a fourth wave to me, anyways. But we need some time, anyways. The thing is this, that the upside confirmation, what what has to trigger for this thing to reverse is this. That is going to be your upside confirmation. That will confirm that there's going to be a very good chance whatever this the low is in until we take out this 6882. That will confirm that's trying to confirm the upside. But for that, well, obviously it's not going to happen on like this. We need a buy signal to go back to the upside. So there's a pretty good chance that in a day or two, if market kind of hold the low, that we might get the mean reversion signal. That's going to be a different thing. We might I don't know that. We don't know where the close are, where the open is compared to the previous days. So we just got to have to watch. And I'm really hoping that nothing triggers on a weekly time frame. If weekly signal comes in, that's it. Your top is in. Yeah, don't forget about your 7,000 for the year end. It can happen next year, but we just don't have enough time to reverse everything. But because we have to look at those leaders as well, we have to look at where the rotation is going as well. So those rotation that is pushing down is taken day by day. It's going to take time to curve, right? So it's better to wait for the confirmation is for structure to build. Then we go in. Then we size up the trade. Like, okay, fine, now things looks good. Rotation looks good. Signals are in. Directions are up. Now we're sizing up trades. Right now, don't size up trades. It's gonna bite you really hard. All you're doing is just playing a counter trend move. Bigger picture. This is just not good. I don't like this. That doesn't mean that we're not gonna go back. Of course we will. Okay, but we just have to, the sell signal there, and the weekly swing is down. But how many more weeks that is that either this is the low? Are we gonna just chop around sideways in this range? That's the only case that you can make. But we still need 3 weeks of higher highs for this thing to flip right back up. Here we go. You had 6 down weeks. We have 3 so far. And then from there we had this 1, 2, 3, and then we end up going all the way back up here. Even the fact we still didn't got them. You see, got 6 weeks, got a huge pop right there, this high right there, flip the swing. You see, you have six drawdown for 6 weeks, and then one single week ripped all the way back to the new highs. Swing turned right back up. You need to take out this high now, the 69.20. So basically, what you're looking for is you're looking for a 5.8% move. That has to happen in a one single week. Because another week, if next week is gonna pass by, let's I don't know if you're gonna make another low, then we're done. It's gonna take several weeks. This correction has to, run its course. It's a higher low swing anyway. So this is the bull trend. This is the higher swing right there. Look at this cloud where it is. Look what the price is. Technically, there's nothing bearish about the market. It's just a setback. And how long it's gonna stay, we don't. We will know when our direction is gonna change, right? So get your opinions out of your head. Is just the low is in, and we're gonna go to the moon, and it's not what the screen is showing you. When we trail like this, that's a different person. Like, okay, fine, we can see signals are in, trend is up, direction is up, everything is trading above 50 and 200 moving average. Like, you can see a healthy price action, a healthy chart. But that doesn't mean this is not healthy. Of course it is, but it's just a setback that we just have to, we have to deal with this. Just has to go through this with time and price. Once it improves, and then we're just gonna, you know, then we're just gonna buy stocks. You need to take out this high, basically. That's what it is. So that has to happen next week. Okay. The same thing. You see, down 6 weeks, one single week. If you rip all the way back up to the new highs, and that's when the direction of the swing will turn back up. If you spend another week below this print, which is going to be a next week, okay, you need to hold this low. You have to open here in 4 days. You need a massive volume for this bar to move all the way back up to 69.20. If that happens, the swing will turn back up, meaning this is the high, this is the higher low. Now we have a higher high. The higher high will be confirmed above the 69.20.34. If it makes a move all the way back here to the upside, and if it stops and we end the week, that we will have a one higher bar, but that doesn't give you the confirmation. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of resistance. There's going to be a lot of those sellers sitting up here, especially at 78.2 retracement. That's going to be your running right there, 68.35. That's where the most of the sellers are going to jump in. You need to clear this in order to make the case for this. Uh, So then we're going to come here. Does it have a buy signal on it? It's sitting under a sell signal. And you're looking for this move to happen from here to here in one single week, in 4 days, not even five, because we're losing a day. It's a tough bet to make. It's a very tough bet to make. You are trying to outsmart a sell signal. You're trying to outsmart a down direction. You're trying to outsmart the rotation that has just looks completely horrible. And you're thinking like, I'm gonna be right because I want to buy heavy. Why would you do that? I wouldn't. I'm not saying that, but you have to look at this way that look how much overlap the price has. This looks like some sort of a diagonal to me, to be honest. This is either a diagonal or is it like a triple combo? It's a WXY and then connector X again and then Y. I'm sorry. This is so one of a WXY connector X, there are two X's and then Z. So this is one way you can do that. So for next couple days and stuff, and it could work his way up, fine. But to me, looking at a weekly signal, I would rather make a case of this as a as a diagonal, put as an A here for now. Okay. So if you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that makes an A. And then from here, look for a B wave bounce. The B wave bounce and a diagonal, your minimum upside target on a diagonal always going to be your prior fourth wave, which is 67.70. That's going to be your minimum upside target because diagonal is always going to have a lot of price overlap, right? It's going to be a minimum fourth wave prior to your fourth wave. And then from here, if this turns, if this is the case, this is where the B will come, and then you take a C down. So you have a 5 down, 3 counter trend move, and then we'll measure this and this move against this move, but give you a 100% equal distance. That would be just like a, bare minimum. So that basically from the April low, you just, you know, run in a simple zigzag. It's if this is the case. Elliott wave, you can think 10,000 different ways, but I'm more focused on the direction of the swing and the signals. But, you know, it's going to be an excellent buying opportunity for sure if that happens. Things are going to get a lot cheaper and we're going to pick a lot of good quality stocks. But if that happened, it's the like, question is if. Can we manage to kind of hold, go sideways? That's another possibility as well. That's usually happens anyways. When you had such a big upside, that's where the price started to take a breather, go sideways. So this is what I've been saying. It's a typical kangaroo market. So you basically go into a trading range for a while, and then from there, the news, some data comes out or some news, this that when market will resume back up. It's not gonna go up until we get one of these buy signals here. You don't rally. I mean, this is just a tough one to fight. There's one thing I've learned. And I repeat this thing every single week. It's so difficult and hard to fight the upside on a down direction with the sell signal. You know, you buy in a price, but you gotta buy a lot of time and you just gotta be super patient. And so like, okay, fine. I hope this zone will hold. and price will recover, and I will hope that something triggers and I can, but the point is like we can get 2, 3 bounces all the way up here. Okay. That will change, let's say, a daily swing back to the upside, right? Fine. We can do that. Or we're back to this. Who's the boss in the end? If the weekly is down and the daily turns up, it's just a bounce within the inside a correction. If the weekly is up and the daily turns down, usually just a dip inside an uptrend. You'd either take a good screenshot or just copy paste this thing. That's all you need to, this is what you need to know. The signal that I've built, they're all based on this structure. My main focus is weekly. Okay. But as a swing trader, when I take trades, I know which swings are down on a weekly time frame and what I'm willing to trade and why I'm going to trade and where I'm going to close the trade. Okay. It doesn't mean that the weekly 3 swing cannot rally. Of course it can. It has room. But on the bigger time frame is broken. That needs to adjust, needs to correct first. The it has to flip. It's gonna confuse a lot of traders. Okay. But you just need to understand this 2 time frame to see exactly how the price works. Your main trend is this. You're gonna have flip-flop movements in the daily time frame back and forth. That's where the swing trading comes in play. Because you're swinging on on a smaller time frame. You're buying on a weekly time frame. You want to go in long now, that's it. So when you're buying something, especially shares, you don't sit and babysit daily. Who cares? It's gonna have a couple dips here, there, but your bigger structure is up. So now let's run um, a scan to actually know, oops, which ones. Let me see the. You can do. Okay, 1 week. So we're gonna run a 3-bar scan on all the 500 stocks. Their weekly swings are already down. They've been down, they're just turned down, whatever the case is. So let's see how many shows up. There you go. There's 39 of them. Okay. There's 39 in S&P 500. So which one are those? Airbnb, Arista, AppLovin, Best Buy, Coinbase. Hopefully, yeah, of course, taking a hit. CRM, Dell, Estee Lauder, Robinhood, Intel, KLA, West, Microsoft, Palo Alto, Skywork Solution, Target, Workday, WST. You see, we just looked at WST on the daily, but see the weekly structure is down. So you can just open the watch list here. So these are all weekly. Change the time frame. Now we're down here. So we can, oops, we can put a swing direction here. Swing direction. So true false is going to be a statement. This one, return. Data sometimes. This one is still up, so these two are still up. It's gonna update. Oh, so these are still showing three. Oh, because this one saved it. Wow. The stock is this PWR. You see what happened here this week? It's always gonna be a defensive week, they call it. It fights the the previous week because it's already down for 2 weeks. You see? One, two, and look what happened. It made a reversal bar for the week. Even the fact that it was almost closed flat, but it saved the swing. Well, this is what I was waiting for the S&P for this week. For something to happen like this. That this week here could save that swing. You see, now it's good. So that doesn't the sequence for those three lows that just worked out. Not here. You see, one, two, three. That's it. Now we made another low. Then got the bounce. Then we made another low. Need 3 bars. So now the ones that are down is this one. What WSTC is down for 4 weeks. See, it's down. You can see all the red ones. Workday. This one, pig, anyways. This one here, Microsoft. See, one, two, three. Interesting. The Microsoft took a dip from the double top. It's gonna find something. It's gonna rip right back up. It's gonna to me, if you ask me, I think it's gonna happen next year. I don't think Microsoft going back to the highs this year. Not when this thing turns down. Unless just rip right all the way back up in one single week. Tomorrow that'll be different. Sorry, the next week will be a different thing. You need one bar to rip that strong to go all the way back to the highs. Is that's when you have a hope. You still need to count three in a row, anyways. See, this is not good. These A and B, see, they're all taking out this previous swing lows. You need to, first of all, you need to hold the low before you even entertain any upside. When you pushing back and taking out these previous swing lows, that's even worse because you don't know. You see, the percentage 11, 11. There we go, goes 14. The ranges has to stay small. But this is just the opposite side because you look into the downside. So every time we have a downside, now if the downswing here is 14.8. Now do you see 14 here? No. 11, 11, 11. Then went up to 14. See, down 6 days, up 3 weeks, down 3 weeks. But the retracement is deeper. See right there? 3 weeks. What is this? METAC, whatever. You put the I'm just showing you, but 3 weeks, look, 7.7. 6.8, 4.1, 5.4, 4.6. What does that tell you? There is a very good chance there's a run, there's a run right there is almost done. You have a largest percentage retracement here against your previous swing high. You're going all the way back to May. That's always going to be the very first earnings or first sign. You have to be, you have to become like a carpenter. You need to measure, you know? When you go to you go to a Home Depot, everybody over there measuring something. You do the same. You need a ruler. Measure peak to trough. Here, what is it called? App Lovin. 3 weeks down, 26.6. 3 weeks up, 23.4, 27.5. So what happened here? First dip, um, inside week, outside reversal bar, higher bar, outside, another outside. Damn, this thing is some crazy volume coming in this one. This stock is just going crazy week after week. Finally took out the low. So you have a 26, 23, 27 and a half. Okay, we can measure this. Take this swing high, this swing low, connected to this. So your 100% measured move is a 476 and then down to 422. I mean, the worst case of that is really going to go. That's just going to be a much deeper retracement at 353. So that's just, if over time, these are weekly time frames. So it will take several weeks, months. So that's for that kind of a case. But this would be a first. But the time is very short now, anyways. This is only 1 week. You need to match at least minimum three. Just the time wise, because you have three down and three up, now you're only down one. You need to wait 2 more weeks to at least match the time now. Price already exceeded 27.5 anyways. It's just a matter of you gotta wait 2 more weeks to complete the time with the call swing relationship with time and price. They have to match. Is the third week, this is gonna be it? Well, we don't know which way the candle is going to open, where it closes. Is it a higher bar? Is it an inside bar? Just got to have to look it up that way. We still got work to do. It's been pressing down like this. Some of these are companies like coin. We all know it's taking a big beating anyways. Like, see, this thing is down for 3 weeks here. Got a one pop right there. Just this all lower lows except for this week, which was October last week, last week of the month. So now where this thing is at, okay? So we are 48.8, 59.2, 46.4. So we already exceeded this one, right? So now we're gonna have to watch and see if this in the range right there stays above this one. The time wise is almost is good. You got an 18 bars here, and then you have 18 bars here. So the swing for the time relationship works really well by the end of this, as of yesterday. So there is a very good chance that we might see a bit of a relief rally. It's right there to the prior swing low anyways. It's 235. The low is 231. That's a huge bar to the downside. So we're gonna have to see if coin can bounce, can at least stop the bleeding for 1 week, kind of like to go inside. The bleeding stops most of the time at the bottom is when the price takes a pause. So when the price takes a pause means what? It goes into the inside week, right? So when you have such a huge volume of the low hold and the price can just like chew some time, that at least kind of puts a bit of a, it stops the bleeding though. You're not push pressing, making lower lows. Well, then what happens the week after that? Well, we're gonna find out. Then selling can resume again. Just basically a neutral bar. So price is making a move lower, it stops to a certain swing low, finds a potential, pops a little bit, and then it closes, and then it just takes a little bit of a breather, right? And then it's still gotta work its way up. These are just these are tough buys. That's the point is. That's what I'm look at this one. This is the Dow 30 stock. Kind of, I mean, I'm watching this stock. Um, just this might be in for some sort of a surprise, the way this thing is shaping up. But you need a like a pretty some sort of a news, you know, to target this. It's gonna be a huge pop if it's gonna happen. I don't know it's gonna happen because we have to fight this. So if this stock gets some sort of a news, you know, it's gonna be a huge move back here to this zone. That will be just the bare minimum upside to this. But this looks, the way I'm watching this, I mean, 5, 3, 5, 3, 4. You see like that just there's too much overlap and the price is starting to form some sort of like a ascending kind of wedge pattern. So we'll see. We'll see. It is a Dow 30 stock, I know that, but it could, if this stock, we'll keep an eye on it, see um if see it, I'm gonna announce something, can give uh can give a bit of a move to the upside. That's let's see. But again, it's a broken structure and um going over like the yeah, it's a tough bet to make because I mean, it can happen, but at the same time, you're like, okay, well, I'm just trying to trade some sort of a little squeeze. This gotta be if I put a little squeezer down there, I think I had him right there. Yeah, it might trigger. Could trigger to the downside as well. Yeah, it's due for it's it's due for some sort of a squeeze. So keep an eye on it. See what happens. I built this one on my own. I did very. It was just. I didn't really. I mean, I've taken very few squeezes, and kind of a little tough to kind of um to line them up with price, but something is a whole script for this. You have to plot everything, the clothes and the blue, the navy, the red, and this and that. Just I don't use them. I mean, if anybody want to have a custom squeeze, I can give you this. You can play around with that. Um, Dell, same thing. You see, 3 weeks of beating right there. It's only 2 weeks, 3 years. So we're right there at this prior support of this. I mean, it's the point is not, it's not like, okay, if the swing turns down for 3 days, right, or 2 weeks, that doesn't mean that it cannot have a one higher weekly bar. If that higher weekly bar, fine, that giving you that bounce, right? But you have to look at the overall direction. That's what matters. Okay, remember, weekly is the engine. So what else we have here? This hood. This one is down for 6 weeks now. You see, it's already exceeded the prior swing, right? So it was 3 weeks. So the swing turned down here, one, two, three. And then you see the rip right there, took out this high, swing turns back up, made a new high. And now look at the downside, 33.6. That's your first early warning shot right there. Okay. So there is a very good chance that this move down here, okay, well, I don't know if this is a low, it could have another week down week. We don't know that. If it managed to find support somewhere down here, it could bounce for 2 weeks, then take another leg down. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna take some time. Weekly is it's a tough one to fight because now look at the time here, 18 weeks. You see all higher highs, trend goes up, setback for 3 weeks, rip right back up for another 60% for 5 more weeks. So that's basically this move. I mean, from here to here, almost what might just might go sideways. We don't know that. I mean, this is like making a very aggressive bet, meaning that you're looking for a lower high swing and then you're looking for a lower low. That just takes a larger weekly weekly correction, because your overall trend is up anyways. But you're just assuming that thing is not what is in front of you. You pay attention what is in front of you. You look for a support where support is, where the previous swing low was, how much time that has passed so far, what is the range that is you in right now. These are the things you just have to watch. What can is a blank chart. You don't know that, neither do I. Why would I sit here and can give you all these hopes? I don't know. I don't know that. What is going to happen? It's going to go. It could go sideways. That usually happens when you have such a move like this. Prices go sideways. Same thing that I would talk, we're trying to debate on S&P as well. If you had such a big, huge move on the since the April, can just market can just go sideways for extra for for some time. It happens. How many stocks that we just went through, uh, like Nvidia and Microsoft, and those stocks were like kind of sideways for so long. But longer and longer the stock stays sideways, and when that breakout happens, that's gonna go wild because it has spent so much time staying sideways, right? Same perfect example, gold. Look how gold broke up. But gold was sideways for 3 years. Keep that thing in mind, 3 years. So if the gold was down sideways for 3 years and you got 1 year to the upside, who you think who's gonna make up the other two? So you stay sideways, you just go up only 1 year, but you sideways for 3 years. Does it make any sense? Your upside always going to be greater in price and time, anyways. So this is why a lot of time I'm just like gets really surprised, like how some people actually see prices. It's just that's why these swings shows you exactly the percentage, the time, and everything which you wanted to see, right? That's the beauty of these things. It just kind of gives you where the swing low was, when the swing turned direction, when it went up, how far it went up against the previous one, when it's coming down, how much it came down, how much it was before. These are the things that you're watching. 33.6% retracement against 18.6. That's your first sign. Second sign is 6 days against, sorry, 6 weeks against 3 weeks. That's second sign. Then you go back to the rotation. Then you look for a sell signal. You see, it will confirm everything for you. There's not going to be a buy signal here for the stock that's puking for 6 straight weeks in a row. That's meaning that price is basically making lower lows for 6 straight weeks. That's more than a month. That's like a month and a half. 1 month has 4 weeks. So it just, that's what I always say, structure. That's it. No structure, no trade. So how do we find structure? Well, that's why we have a filter. I can't sit here and go through these star names one by one in the middle of a session. You know, okay, now those are up. Now let's go back and see what is up. We can do same 500. Is it? It's a joke. 11 stocks. 11 stocks this week. They took out the previous week high. The swing just turned up as one of them. Now you can call this a low. You see how they have the 3 weekly higher bars. See, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, I don't know what company is this? Real estate company, I guess. I have one real estate that's been doing good. RVTY. I think I showed you that one. That's mine by my brother's account. Had a big pop yesterday. This the huge pop yesterday was huge. I was trying to play the breakout. The rotation was kind of good. I have shares about 75 shares for him. It's 92.25. Got a big huge pop. This is a real estate. RVTY. This rotation looks pretty good and it's a nice kind of wedge pattern. That's like a buy signal is in anyways. So it's bought some shares for him right on that 50 moving average. So if this thing holds, rotation looks good, should be able to get us. Yesterday was, I looked at him and I don't usually stare at his, I just kind of look at him and like probably in the midday or by the close because I bought share. I usually like have all share, no option positions there anyway, so I don't really look at them every single like sitting and staring at the screen. No, got plenty of time. I just have a hard kind of stop loss. I will set them up at the low and just let the thing work and see how many days it will take. And yesterday volume was pretty good as well. A lot of volume here and got a bit of a big pop yesterday. Overall market was pretty good. The overall breadth was pretty good yesterday. Over 400 plus stocks were closed positive yesterday anyway. So this is one. This is a real estate one. This is one as well. Brown Foreman. So this swing turned up yesterday. This week. I'm talking about yesterday's a weekly scan. This is up now. Camden CPT. I'm watching this one. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. These are, what do you see? This is I think this is another real estate. Real estate names, and there's a lot of real estate names are popping up. So there's um some real estate gotta um look into it. Except the mega growth. So some names there's some these are confirmed higher swing now. So yeah, CPT. I looked at them, I think yesterday. It didn't trigger anything here yet, but it's gonna come now. CPT. Oh, it has one anyway, as a matter of fact, a daily time frame. It triggered a blue dot yesterday. So this might go. Where this 109, 110 go hug the 200. That's gonna be a wall right there. So you have a 5 point move here to test this wall. The 200, and it's not gonna break that fast. So this is something showing up in this one. Hardest insurance company making a new high right there. I made an all-time high yesterday. Yeah, swing. You see? Here's an example I gave you guys. Let me do it this way. Why this thing is all messed up? Hang on. Replace this and this. Okay, you see right there? This was the high. Okay. It took 8 weeks, kind of went sideways and then took a dip. That's just what you just have to look where the low is, right? Took 8 weeks, 11%. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So the third week crosses about 135. What happens? Higher high gets confirmed. Direction of the swing turns back up. Even the fact it was down 8, but it only took 3 to reverse. You need to take out the previous high with 3 bars in one row. It could be a 1 bar or it has to be 3. This one turned over the whole move forward. I think these stocks that took a lot of beating. Yeah, they're by the end of the year now, they're starting to take a breather. I don't know what kind of ATR this stock is going to have. SOLV right there, a huge move, right? You see, same thing here. High swing, low swing, down for 18 weeks, Only took 2 weeks to clear that high. Look, down 16%, up 26%, 18 weeks, 2 weeks. It's easy to understand when you actually pay attention to it, you know? So every time when you put on up a low and then the swing direction turns up, so from now we'll mark that low. Now you gotta make sure that low better hold. You need another one full week drawdown and you toast. So when the stock takes that big of a beating, where is the first potential resistance that you can look for? It's always going to be a prior swing low. So if this price move another week or two, that's going to be your first resistance zone. That was the actual pivot back there that was broken and it stayed down for another 4 or 5 weeks. So eventually, when now the swing turned up, it's been up for 3 weeks, 7% move. So eventually, it's going to work his way up. It's going to hit this number right there, 513. If you're going to go a little bit more uh, into resistance, you can throw a 100 moving average. That's sitting right there at 523. So you have this low and you have 100. All you got to do is just put a little box right from here to here. That's going to be a first resistance zone, which you can call as your target to the upside. Once it works and clears this, then you can just week after week after week, you can just have to work your way up as long as the direction stays up. So you're basically looking for a counter trend move, just such a huge dip for this price to recover, work its way up toward this zone. So that's the trade setup against this low, you know? So, then, but at least that you're trading now in the right direction, not opposite. You know what? You're not fighting a down direction. You're willing to, you know, ride with the time, with the with the trend. The trend established in 3 weeks. It's a lot of time. Okay. So this one, so all yesterday with a new high. See, down 3 weeks, swing turned down, took 2 weeks, boom. You need to take out this high right there. Either it can happen in 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever. As long as this high gets taken out as quick as it can, shorter duration of time, that's it. You flip everything back up. That's a Yum brand. That's so choppy sideways. It's a huge move. It's just going sideways for several weeks. 3, 4, 8 weeks, 4 weeks. But I made another low here. Still have a low but high. Still gonna break this. It's a zone here. That's it. It's just these are the only three that turns. I'm just saying. It just things are. It doesn't look. What is the one? Do the we can do the breakout. How many breakout happened yesterday? These are the stock. I took out a 2 bar high swing break. 37 of them. So what it means by this, whatever the stock, and click on this one. So you just take a 2 bar swing. So every time when the swing takes out the previous swing high, that confirms the swing. You see, the swing is higher than this higher swing. This swing is higher than this. This swing is higher than this. Every one of them, because it filters everything. That's how I have it scripted. See, this high is higher than this. So these are the breakouts. That meaning the price took out the previous swing high. So you can same thing you can do to the downside as well. You just all you gotta do is just flip the swing. So you see MG yesterday, 32 against 31.93. That was the previous swing high. So you can I look at these ones. I run a lot of scans after the close just to kind of see like, how many stocks are kind of like breaking out, how many of them are breaking down, you know. But the main focus is not I do the full scan, but I mostly hunt for the leaders. Now, if we're gonna filter this to 100, so there's only what 5 names yesterday out of 100, and a two-bar swing that took out the previous swing high. So you can just depends where you want to go and how much of a price that you want to look at and do a 50 scan. So these are the ones that the um, go here to two bar. See, I don't do two bars. I mean, you can say I do everything, but it's just what you're looking for is you're looking for this previous swing high to break out. So there's only that happened here. McDonald's did, PM did. This stock looks kind of um, looks good to me on a weekly time frame as well. I think the stock is gonna go. This is what the cigarette company that makes all those. I think those Marlboros and all those. Um, this one you see, the swing is gonna be higher than the previous swing. That's just the breakout script I have. Let's look at these ones. Okay, so let's see. How many stocks as of yesterday close in the S&P 500 are trading below the 50 and 200 day moving average? 200 and damn, that thing came fast. 213 stocks out of 500. Okay, that's like call it like literally half, right? That's a lot. I mean, technically, they're 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 100% bearish stocks. So the stocks, these ones, which has to whatever that they're gonna find the support, they have to work their way up to 50 first, then the 200, and then from there they have to make their move back to the upside. You know, it's just a matter of like where does it bleed? Like okay, well, let's assume this is the low. Let's call it, right? It's not official. Let's just call it. So the price has to work all the way back up to 122. It's going to face resistance there. Then it's going to go hit the 127 wall, you know? So like these ones are always going to be the weakest ones, especially when you have the death crosses on them. What is death cross? Okay. What is death cross? I have people someday like the world is coming to an end. Sometime it plays out and sometimes doesn't. But most of the sellers get really aggressive when the death crosses happens because is when the 50 crosses below the 200, right? That's what you call a death cross. So what happened here on this as you cross over? right? So that basically, if that happens, it basically like upside is just literally toast, for few, for some time. It takes, I mean, a quarter close to 2 quarters or some major news. I mean, it's not like that, like if you had to see you have a dip here, it's not like nobody can play this. Of course, you gotta have to use some different technicals for that to kind of play a counter trend moves. But when you actually look at the real chart, what is actually telling you, okay, it's just a very hard to make a bull case, right? Our focus is what? Structure. Structure is everything what you're looking for. So these are the ones that are like what? 213 stocks right now in the market. Okay. Like top names, Abbott. See, they're all trading below this one, of course. See, every one of them. It's how you filter. Now, if you like you as a trader, you can't go through that then one by one. AMT and stuff. You see, there goes the death cross. That was on September 8th. It's just been just lost all the upside. I mean, I look at these names. I'm not just pointing out these death crosses. There's plenty examples that I can show you that barely happen. The price rips right back up. But there's a lot of times when that happens, that usually price is gonna, it just, those are gonna be very, very tough buy. You see right there, Boeing, look where the 50 is coming so damn close to this one. It's gotta turn around quick, you know? Otherwise, we're just gonna go in this situation.
How long more would it be for Boeing with this kind of structure to go back to the 250 eventually?
Well, first we need to find a floor. Like the prime Boeing has been taking some serious beating. I looked at him yesterday. I was like, what the heck is going on with the Boeing? I like this. You see, it's 1.53% now for the year. Look at the order size at 6. It's been down for, I think it's down for like 6 days now. Yeah, yeah, 6 days right there. All 6 days are lower lows. Yeah, Boeing took a lot of beating this week. Yeah, 7.62% this week alone. For the month is down 10, for the quarter is down 16. Only up like 1%, 1.5% for the year. It's lost everything, you know? They're getting orders and a lot Wall Street really likes I like this move, you know? You see it from here, 128 to 148. I mean, we don't have to go that far anyways. So this entire move is a pretty clean five-way move to the upside. If this is an ABC, this is a pretty kind of deep retracement so far, which is kind of dipping below 50. You basically, let me see how much is this. Do it here much better. So we run our fibs from here to here. You see, it's already give more than 50. That's 50 right there. 61.8 at 172. So it's way oversold. You know, I don't know how the rotation looks like, but that's just irrelevant because it's a full washout. There's a little gap sitting here, and I don't know if if this is where this thing is pushing. Let's try to fill this gap. There's another support here, 172, which is going to be the 61.8 with this gap, if that comes into a play. But the way this thing is looks right now, it might fill that gap. It's a very, it's a pretty deep retracement. 50 is, is always as most of the buyers comes in anyways, but doesn't look like they're, you know, like, once you have a first swing, the huge move to the, this is a clear five-way move. Just let you know. I like that one. So you label this. So you want to put one here. So is this a zigzag? That's what it looks like to me anyways. It's a diagonal A, B, C, B, and this is some sort of a C wave, right? A, B, C, the diagonal, it's a zigzag. 5, 3, and 5. So
I
I'm
hope if
watching this one and see as if the rotation improves. I mean, right now, if you want to play an oversold dead cat bounce, that's a different thing. But that doesn't, that doesn't even know. I mean, you want to play a move from here to here or here, whatever. Nobody knows how much of the price will move. But you know, when it was up, it was trending up really nicely for a long period of time, and now is pretty much back to the flat. But if you look at a bigger picture, I know that we're looking at the daily time frame. It's not, you see, it's a COVID low right there. There's plenty of stock that has literally recovered way back up. And look what Boeing is doing since the COVID low. It's just literally going. This is some sort of a larger degree triangle. That's the only thing I can think of, to be honest. It does look like one, to be honest. Um, a contracting triangle. That's if that's the case, this thing is gonna have a massive upside in the coming years. Okay, because this triangle forms here. This is the called fourth wave of a larger degree that gives you a post triangle thrust to the upside. That will take you several years to keep that thing in mind. Because right now, this is a part of an E wave. Okay. So they're very easy to label. And they're very well defined risk play as well. Okay. That's the beauty of a triangle. If you write, okay, your risk reward is massive. I've nailed this thing on a Costco. Okay. I've killed that trade. You know, I had them on my client's account. It was that dude, one guy was like never salad. That was the same thing. This higher degree, they are fucking very painful because this is once you go into a weekly time frame. Now you're looking at almost 5 years of price action, right? That's a COVID low right here. So you have A, B, C. So C is higher than above the A wave low, and then the D is is lower than the lower high compared to a B, and then you have an E is above the C, and now you have no, hold on, I did it wrong. This is already, it could be complete a triangle. That's what it could be. Well, I did it right. I absolutely did it right. If this stock turns around, if that's the case, just do it two ways. I'll show you both ways. Is this you have A to the COVID low, B, C, D, and E. Okay.
shouldn't the A be where the B is? Because it's a ABCD of a bigger B, right? Isn't it an ABCD of a bigger B?
What do you mean bigger B?
I mean, could this be a bearish resolution too, or is it always bullish?
Oh no, if you look at the overall the price on look where the price is from here. You look at the overall trend of the stock, okay, is up. Even the fact, yeah, it has like look at this dip. Look for those larger dips. Okay, there's gonna be few of them, not gonna be too many. Only three of them, right? So you can't compare this dip to this, or this to this. You know, you can all find two of them at least. Those are always gonna be your wave two and wave four. Um, this price action here, this is the COVID low, right? Stock has not really recovered much, and I'm making a, I mean, it could be some sort of a sort of a BWXY. We don't know that, you know? We absolutely don't know. If we make a case of a triangle, the triangle confirmation is this, okay? Is the triangle completed like this? Because you need to find C, D, and E. And then from here, I don't know how to put it there. From here to here, this is a clean five-way move. Okay. You're not going to be able to count them as good as smaller time frame, which is a daily chart. So let's focus on this low, which is this, to this high. So if I label this, this is a clear five-way move. A five-way move, this decline right there can part of some sort of a zigzag. But as long as it can find some support here in the next couple of weeks, is starting to move, this thing can go next year pretty good. Okay, you're not looking at anything in a matter of weeks or so. You're making a case for next year. Okay, so we're look from Elliott point of view, we're looking for what, five swing to the upside, three swing to the downside. So we're looking for eight swings. So it's working on this eighth right now. So once that, so you basically, instead of going all the way back to the to the to the back to the whatever the beginning, you can just simply take a measured move from this low to this. I don't know where the low is, you know, could be a here, whatever. Now let's assume this is the low. The measured move is at least like 290. It's like a equal distance. So if you can do this, you can draw your, there's many ways you can do that. So let's draw your zone, get rid of the other ones. We don't need those. So what we need to find is we need to find a cluster of fibs and where they're gonna stack. Okay. So we take the five swing to this. Oops. Take this extension here. Take the same height to this low, to this. You see the zone right there is where you have to look and see that where is thing is gonna get filled. This is gonna be a way down. So it's already taken out unless we add more. So we have the first. You know there is a woman. Um, um, I think her name is like Fibonacci. So she calls herself like,
Carolyn something, right? Fibonacci queen.
yeah, yeah, that woman. I don't know her. Just because like on a Twitter, you go like the feed comes in, it pops up. I looked at her and one time and she takes these high-low swings, and that's what she's doing. It's not, this is what it is, what you're looking at right there. So she's using extension tool and all she's just looking for a cluster of fibs where it stacks. You see like first zone broken here, second here, that's your third one. So that's where it is. So it's just like once you have a cluster of support that all kind of stack really close, that becomes like a very kind of like a thick zone. Usually price don't really breaks through it that fast. It's gonna give you some sort of a bounce. Every time when you see like here, I mean the trend is down anyways, right? Which we all know that. You see the day comes in here, you see it put a low here, the next day, boom, you see you got the bounce. Because it's just like as soon as you're gonna hit the lower number here, it's gonna give you the 191 to 194. You can put like a 3, 4, 5 point bounce. So these are the bounces you can play. So it's just, I mean, it's not, I mean, you can't, when it comes to fibs, you leave it on me. That's the thing I mastered. I did the same thing on the Bitcoin on, what is it? Where the heck it went? Uh, Here on a Bitcoin. You see the Bitcoin right there, this zone right there. Okay. It's a pretty thick zone. So we got a bounce yesterday. Okay. So we'll see. I mean, that doesn't mean that this is a low, but there was a very, I was pretty confident that as soon as it's gonna test this zone, it could come down a little bit here to this. So it's gonna give that bounce, right? So I bought $103,000 worth of futures on Bitcoin yesterday. So at 82 even, because it's very kind of hard to kind of chase exactly to the penny, especially in the future market. So I put a 82, got fill. I got the bounce to this 85. So it's still open. Trade is open. So I still got a lot of time. So we'll see what happens, and I'm just I mean, I know that it's a fallen knife, but my trailing regression line is right there at the blue, right? Even if this is a bounce that could stop the bleeding for a Bitcoin, the minimum upside should be at least 93. Okay, so at least to hit the midpoint. So it will trail with the price, but as long as this low holds, and this line is from the highs anyways, so this is what they call a mean reversion. Okay, so when the price, whatever the price will stop, it could take a day, 2, 3, 4, whatever the cause, whatever the time is, the it will come back to at least to a midpoint. Okay, that's what the linear regression is. It's a very powerful tool that you could use for technicals, but that just it's a there's many different ways. Um, the the log adjusted one, the trailing one. If you're looking for a pop, and you could see what would be my at least like minimum sort of like a bounce, what would my midpoint is. So the linear trailing line will give you that. So I mean, if I could ride the sucker to here in the next couple days or whatever the case is, I mean, that'd be huge. So as of close yesterday, I think I was up like 14,000, $14,000. So every little tick pays you $3. So because it moves like, moves like a crazy. So I mean, whatever. It's just so we'll see what happens. The only reason I'm testing this is because this is a 261.8 extension. So it's usually you don't crack that easily without some sort of a bounce. It's a very strong fib, you know. So something to I mean that doesn't mean that this is the low. So don't get too super excited yet. We still need further confirmation. But it's gonna at least it's gonna put some sort of a pause, just to kind of stop a little bit of a breathing. So this bleeding, sorry, the just Bitcoin is taking a punishment. So we'll see what happens. It'll take a few more days, see how the next week goes by, and then I don't know what kind of volume is gonna be and stuff because we're gonna lose a day. But I don't know how Bitcoin is trading right now. Um, we can do it. What's that? I don't the the Coinbase is fine, but the futures is at 84 450 84 the trading view stuff. It's at 84 469 right now. This is on the trading view chart. I tried using this one, man. It's so difficult to use this software. I know people love it, but fine. It's just not for me. Well, still, this was a close yesterday. So yeah. So it didn't make a new low. That's a good sign. It's a nice pin bar, but we'll see if it can move up to at least. What was the trailing mid on that one? 93. So we need to go to right here. The line here. I don't know, trend line. Right here. This number. It's where the mid is. So it should be a couple days or so just to at least get some sort of a bounce. Bitcoin works really good with fibs. Just to keep that thing in mind. Body, you gotta learn how to run them from where to where. But they just works it really good with fibs. Bitcoin especially. That's what most people I don't think they really know. But it's okay. See what happens. Trade is a trade, not the end of the world. Um, what was this? This was Boeing we're looking at. Okay, not much. I mean, I don't want to be sound like, well, like we're just trying to look, you know, what is actually going on in the market. Like, there's just the point is that the direction and signals is all good, but you just have to look like how many how many stocks they're actually where they are. That explains a lot, you know. You have a half the S&P right now is trading below 50 and 200, and other half is above. So what does that tell you? So there is a very, very good chance that this market is gonna stay is gonna go sideways. That's I mean, this is why I could make a case of a fourth wave on a daily wave count. Okay, the weekly structure is down now. We already looked at them, right? So half the stocks are down, half the stocks are trailing up. So that tells you is the market is literally divided half half. That doesn't really make the whole market kind of like trending up. You need more advances, meaning that more established trend for for price to trail higher. So that's the only thing I can think of, to be honest. And just we just gotta have to watch rotation day by day, and I've been keeping all of you. This is everything right there. This is your entire stock market on one screen. You know exactly where small caps are, you know where the value is, and you know where the mega growth is. Okay, so this is what we need in order to make money. Where to de-risk, where to size low, where we have to wait and be patient. And this is gonna tell you everything right there. Okay, we do have sectors which is fine. They're all gonna work. See energy tipping over. Technology's here. Look at this XLY. It's brutal, just brutal. This sucker has this Amazon and Tesla in it. Here comes industrial. What are we looking for? We're looking for blue ones. Now we're in the red ones. Red, this one has to turn blue to confirm the trend. This has much relative better strength, the green ones. Only three colors. Red is losing momentum and everything, heading different direction. Blue is the one is trending now. So we have material, we have consumer staples, XLP, um, real estate, and there's few names. We just looked it up. The swing just turned up. I don't know those weird names anyways, to be honest. I have to look it up. The only thing I have is RVTY. That I would picked it up on a scanner. And we have the communication here. This rotation right there that I've been watching is giving me, I'm staying a little more optimistic because I have a lot of time on a clock, is to play this move on can do XLC, and we could throw the meta. It's this. So this is what I'm watching in the last few days. And if you notice, the meta just keep hitting that 600 wall. It's a very kind of, I know it's could take another week or two, but only what I like on a meta chart is this. It's gonna I know it's gonna play with everyone's this. That's the 1-2 swing. That's gonna give us that third swing next year or so. So it's just a matter of like where the sucker is gonna put a low and where the direction will turn back up. That's the earning dip right there. So it's positive. Um, it the meta works really good with fibs as well. So that was kind of like the first swing, same first swing there. That's the second swing, and that's the same second one. So we're gonna be looking for something similar to third swing to the upside. So it's gonna come. And when it's gonna come and how soon it's gonna come, and well, I don't know that. So we have to just wait. I have shares. I might buy if we get a little bit more dip here. I'll buy it more. I don't mind at all. So because I remember this sucker was right here, man, right around here after this beating right there. And I didn't bother that time. Yeah, I was, and look at how it went. It's a good company. It's definitely a good company. So yeah, it's a $1 trillion market cap company. It's not gonna give that much back. So it will recover. So it's that's just the weekly time frame. But on a daily time frame, you see, like I'm watching this. I hope it doesn't bend along with this. So Meta might catch up next week. So it's, but you have to understand one thing is if you have a promising stock here that we just talked about them before, but then you have a direction of the swing is down, but the rotation is looking promising. It hasn't, and and then you're hoping like, well, why the meta is not rallying? But at the same time, when you're looking at we're in a kangaroo market, we're up 500 points, we're down 500 points. The next day we're open. So that kind of it's a big company. Yeah, the price can move, but it just you can't expect your stock is going to the moon or the rest of the market is all over the board. You have to look at all the other names as well. Like the only two names right now that is actually holding a much better relative strength is Apple and Google. I remember yesterday when the market opens, those are the only two stocks were positive because they have a much better relative strength. And Google already long Google long time ago. So I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about it yesterday to kind of like trim a little bit of a size, take some money off the table on Google, you know, but at the same time, I don't want to be a little greedy. I mean, this, I've been screaming about this for a very long time. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope you guys have it, but it was this weekly signal right there was the one that I grabbed. I mean, that's why I was like, you see here, your perfect example. Like some of you were always kind of confused about um, a direction and this and that. A weekly right there, you see, has a buy right there, has 155.40. So that triggered back on 428. So that was back in 2025, right? So what's January, March, April. So when you come here, so from 155, now from 155, you see how many buy and sell signal triggered on a daily time frame, but your weekly is still good, right? That's this is exactly what I meant with the swings earlier. Weekly is the engine. Okay? This it tells you that who's in control. Once you will identify and know the difference between these two time frame, watch how your decisions and your trading will improve over time. Ignore everything. Focus on a daily time frame first. And then if you want to swing something, you swing on a daily. It's the way I do it. Look, nobody can predict these market reversals. They're nasty. Okay, just admit it. It's just the way it is. You know, first these two dips that the market recently just had, 5 to 5% back to back, right, within a 3 days of gap in between, is based on no news, no data. Okay, nothing around the globe. That is the overall market is falling apart somewhere else. Japanese market or European equities are taking a hit, or China is this and this. No tariff talks, nothing. The last 3 weeks, if you really think, okay, there isn't any kind of a breaking news is coming out around the globe. On top of it, there's no data coming out either. So the only noise is out there is this AI bubble, is an AI bubble, is an AI bubble. That's all you hear. Every second person who comes on a CNBC talks about the same thing: AI bubble. Are we in or not? We still have 2 more years to go. We still have 3 more years to go. Everybody just like throwing, like, okay, I'm right, I'm wrong, okay, with this and that. Like all paid actors, right? So market reacts, I mean, I know it's not the economy, but we don't have a lot of data. Now it's all about, are we going to cut rates in December? So every time when market sells off, the probability of a rate cut increases. Okay, it's always going to be like this because that's when the market is going to come under pressure, and that's when the probability of those rates will increase. The market is going to jump back up. It's going to start backing off again. You know, so this dip that we just had is all again based on just a cheap talk. Companies are spending too much money and punish these ones, and it's just because this is just a pure AI bubble. Does it look like a bubble the way Nvidia reported earnings? You just have to, like, if you really focus on what the earnings, how the earnings looks like, how to read them, how to understand them. If you don't, you can always ask um, your chat GPT or Google it. It will explain you, tell you exactly how to read the earnings, how to read a balance sheet, how, like these kind of a thing. But that's all fundamental. Fine, we can make that case if you're investing and willing to invest, if you like a certain business and this and this. Me, I'm a technician. I trade price. Okay, I do watch, read the fundamentals, but my main focus is all about price. Okay, price will is everything in the end. It's what we trade. That's how we make our living, and that's how I make my money. Okay, and we lose as well. Okay, it's a part of the game. So we're gonna have rosy non-stop 12 straight months in a row. It doesn't happen. I mean, I'm trying to hold as much as it can, but at the same time, it's not forcing trades either. There's some times you just gotta have to step back. I'm not gonna jump on it like, oh, this buy, there's an order flow coming in. Okay, I'm gonna throw a couple of $1,000 there. I mean, what you're all over the board. I mean, I love to trade. I'm gonna trade. It's not like I'm gonna stop something, but there's times you just have to step back. Not that desperate to trade. Your turn, my turn will come. I don't mind waiting at all. It's the what market's not gonna give me any buy signal or any opportunities at all. Of course, I will find plenty of them. But the overall market, it just doesn't look right. When something just it looks mixed, you just have to think like, okay, well, I'm looking at a mixed market. So how do I size up my trades? That's a number one question comes in risk management. The trades that I'm taking this week, it's all $1,200, $1,300 trades that I'm taking right now. So I don't want to press too hard in this kind of a whipsaw, in this kind of a kangaroo market. I'm watching everything. I'm taking small size trades. I was like, okay, fine. Worst case, I'm gonna be wrong. Okay, I'll lose 300-400 bucks. Big deal. But it's just like I'm not gonna open like $3,000-4,000 worth of trade, and I got like 4 or 5 of them are open, taking a $10,000-12,000 hit, only like on a one single session. Think about it. With this one, when you look at things under the hood, you just like started like, wait a second, market has times that you size up when you have the actual trend. Buy signals in, direction is up, let's go in. Overall market is trending. You can see things are moving. Breadth looks good, rotation looks good, signals are good, direction is up. You know, these are all the signs that you look for a healthy trend, healthy market, right? When you came into a Q4, the run we just had for 3 quarters, like since the April, and you came into a Q4, when I was start looking at its rotation and stuff, I've told you this thing weeks ago. I said like Q4 is gonna be all about rotation, and what is happening right now is all about rotation, value growth, and they're hitting this AI, the AI that lead everything up. They're the one that just pressuring this AI, thinking like, oh, this is a bubble. It's just a pure bubble. You know, everything goes up too fast, too soon. It's a bubble. Oh, yeah. I mean, at one point, yeah, you can make the case. That's what they call parabolic moves. Parabolic moves, I mean, market didn't really went parabolic, but it just took a very long time for kind of made a pretty full steady run to back to the upside. But yeah, parabolic moves are always nasty. They just don't end good. Well, we don't have that case. But the point here is like we have a 215 stocks on our board that we can see they are a broken structure. So are we just gonna jump on them? They're like, oh, they're just weaker. We just buy them because they're cheaper price. Well, they're cheaper price, but we need further confirmation for really there's a buyers coming in to buy the stock. Or we look for momentum to see if there is any momentum there, is there any demand zone, you know, these kind of a thing. I can't just randomly buy this sucker, just play a what, one session bounce, a two-session bounce. I mean, that's just a swing trading. Then you're looking for like a small move to play to the upside. But you overall is you just all these are death crosses, for a long time. CDNS right there, you see? They're like pulling back. I mean, the pullback is all here, but you have to understand that whatever the price would find the floor is still gonna go and hit the wall, right? The actual price will actual trend back to the upside is when you're gonna have this. But look what happens here. Look how late this. Yeah, don't rely on these things too much either. It's just a tool, that indicator that you just use and just putting two moving averages together doesn't mean anything in the end. Okay, don't get too excited over it. But it just gives you the how price respect moving averages. You see, like price was moving up, made a cross above. The cross happened here. Price went up, came all the way back down. Look at this whipsaw. Look at this drop right there against this. One bar took out like weeks of price action. But the cross has happened right there, where you see then made his way back up. So crosses are very something to just to kind of keep in mind that what do they do? You see, cross to the downside, dip, retest, another dip. Where price will go, how far it will go, well, we don't know that, but that's why that's when we pull the tape out of the drawer and we measure them. Okay, we just take measure swings and we look for extensions and retracements. These are all like, I don't know, Clorox, fine, Chipotle, beat up. Coinbase, look at that. It's like Some of them are still like here. Clear death cross right there, Costco. Right there. On October 3rd. You know? When was the last time that happened? Oops. Somewhere around. This was a triangle move. You see this? I was talking about this. It was a post triangle thrust to the upside. I wrote the whole thing to the top. I mean, it went back and forth, back and forth. But I showed you some of you guys. It was a monster trade. They're very hard to spot triangles on a daily time frame when the price trying to compress, kind of go into a contracting for an extended period of time. Look how long it took. Went from May of 2022. It was kind of completed here, but this was the right around here until May. So it went from 2022 May until May 30th of 2023. 1 year. It's went just sideways. 1 year of price action. Think about it for a second. And that 1 year that the price just went sideways, look how it went. So now you calculate that time from May 2023, 2025. It's always going to be more, not going to be less. This is the thing that some people simply don't understand the logic. Your upside is always greater than whatever you give back or stay sideways. Always remember that. Same thing to the downside. When the thing flips, your upside will be more than your downside will be more than your previous swing, whatever your first initial swing was. It's just the nature of the price. Then you can just count the number of bars. It could be days, could be weeks, could be months, could whatever the case is. Okay, you can do that. So, I mean, again, I'm not an opinion-based trader. Anyways, you all know that my style of trading, what I trade, what I don't trade, and what I like, what I don't like. Okay, just I don't do that. We, I throw a trade. I'm gonna show you what the signal is, what the rotation looks like. Just take a shot. Don't even think twice. What's gonna happen after that? We'll deal with it. Take the risk. Structure build, forms, gets confirmation. We execute the trade. What will happen, how long it will take, we'll deal with that part. We're gonna win most of them anyway, so just relax. Um, DR Horton got a nice pop right there. You see, like they got a lot of work to do because we know that they're gonna come and hit those walls. You know, I'm watching this one. I like this as see, it's a pretty steep. This is kind of something's due for some sort of a bounce. It's been see, got a huge look at that sideways. Look at that breakout. There's one stock that I am this one. This is this is a really good growth stock. Just to um I don't mind buying some shares at all on this name for next year. It might their growth is really good. This is a payment company. Oops, you can read about it. I think I took a screenshot and showed you their growth is really good. So um this guy is posting. Man, I don't one thing is first, I don't comment on nobody's post. First thing. Second thing is this, can this happen? Of course it can. We don't, I mean, just, just looking for um a complex WXY with a lot of back and forth zigzags. See WXY, connector X, A, B, another down C. I mean, he has them at 161.8. Y wave usually don't retrace that deep anyways compared to W. But anyhow, so I don't know. It could be, but I don't comment. I don't even know. What the hell is this? So you're showing a downside, but we don't recommend selling. The way you show like this, we prefer to trade only in the direction of green and red right side tags, entering a blue boxes. We don't like trading turning up down arrows against the direction of right side tags. And we don't like trading the dotted lines. Oh, I don't even know what's okay, whatever.
So I think he's bullish, but he doesn't. He says there's a possibility of another decline, but he's already entered the first blue box. So you
Hmm.
could take a long trade if you wanted, it's saying, but there's a
Yeah, kind of.
possibility of the second blue box.
I'll figure it out. I don't need any help with Elliott with. Yeah, you can make a case of a combo. I mean, or you can make a case of a zigzag. Doesn't matter. I mean, such correct. So, the Elliott wave has so many corrections. You're always going to be end up guessing anyways. So I much, you know, if you don't have enough experience with Elliott wave, I will highly recommend you to just focus on the swings, high and lows. It's going to give you a much better read, much better price. You can don't look at them as the by five different ways that you can label a chart. Well, you have a one clear chart in front of you tells you that what where the direction turns, and it's gonna cut all the noise. Let's just put it this way. It's gonna kept everything clean. Focus on signals, focus on direction of the swing. That's all we need. That's all we need. Nothing else. Um uh Something global. Man, like these stocks are Lockheed Martin low. You got a bit of a pop yesterday. They got the crossover right there. See, there you go. There's your death cross right there on low. I was trying price is afraid trying to come back and see if that doesn't happen. That's a resistance sitting right there. I mean, how are you gonna break that 5,200? You know? So the other was this guy, one of the guy said if there's a buy signal, he said on low. I didn't see it. I don't even looked at the stock, but he said there's a buy signal and a low on his charts that he follows. So I mean, if it clears it up, yeah, I mean it can make definitely make a room to the upside. It is funny though that Lowe reported better earnings than Home Depot. Did you notice that? Looks like Lowe's is eating Home Depot lunch. They reported better earnings. I was kind of surprised, like, wait a second. Home Depot's cut their full 1 year guidance. You know, they're expecting a much slower growth, and they're not even, and here Lowe's are on a totally different page. It's very weird. Um, Lululemon, we all know. MasterCard is another one right there. Some of these are like, Meta, yeah, we're fighting. Look, yeah, Meta is, you know, we'll see. The rotation and stuff, it should be due for some sort of a bounce back up. They'll recover eventually. These are all below 50. That's what I'm saying. Half the market. Netflix, see? Service now. This stock is down like almost 30% year to date. I don't know when it's supposed to split. It's gonna go down to like 80 bucks or so. There's another one. I run these ones and look at Oracle now. It's bad. It's just I'll see if what kind of I just gotta get out of this trade, man. The market can just recover a little bit. This is I don't know, it's gonna give a lot of sign. Jeez. This is all in a matter of September 10th, November 21. Oh, how much was this? Ah, we'll see. I hope it could. It's gonna, I don't know, most likely gonna sit here. It's a deeper retracement now. I bought a diagonal on this big. Yeah, we'll see if we can get a little bit. I just gotta, oh, let's just cut it off. That's it. I don't like this step now. Oh, 20, 40, 44. Yeah, yeah. God damn it, how did we get freaking 44? I haven't even looked at them. That's good enough. Is it really 44? Yeah. That's just 7, 7, 8. Oh, okay, we'll see next week. See what happens. Like a five-way movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Let's see, I'm gonna count this. Oh yeah, this is a five-way move right there. One, two, three, four, five, two. So you got one, two, three, four, five, and one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, this is some sort of a five-wave develop. Plus the percentage swing is much wider, deeper as well. This is a larger five-wave move is in play here. This is one, two, three, four, five. It's gonna give us some sort of a fourth wave bounce. Then it's gonna take another leg down in five. That will complete a one full five-wave structure. That will be just the first initial dip. Then you get the counter trend move. Then take another five to the downside. Yeah, once you have a clean five to the downside, oh yeah, after that counter trend move, you're gonna have a measured move of C wave coming on a much higher degree. Plus I just don't like this. I never looked at this one because I've been hunting this. I don't know, no. I just don't like this. This is not a good sign. I talk about this though. I know how swing works. I have years and years of experience how swing trading works. I I build the entire framework just based off swings, not based off Elliott wave because those are literally impossible to label to auto like to script. But my engine is just it all runs on this. I know how swing works. This is not a good sign for sure. And you don't want to lose. Give back the most from the top against all of your prior swings. You see, 44, you don't see anything here in 40s, 30, 23.9, 10, 15, 15, 14, 34. What does that tell you then? You know, what does that tell you? If this company is going that crazy on this AI,
So in September, Oracle made that deal with the OpenAI
mhm,
and took a lot of debt to fund these huge data centers packed with GPUs.
correct? Do they even have they even have the money to spend?
Well, traditionally, Larry Ellison has also been accused of being a fraud back. If you remember in the tech bubble, he did some fraud too.
Correct. Plus, they're calling his wife an agent as well. How young she is, the age of his daughter. Could be his granddaughter. That's more personal, but
But yeah,
yeah,
losing $300 billion of market cap in a 6 week period is crazy, man.
it is. Well, I can see, but you can see right there, 44. I never had 44% dip on a swing before. There's 10 week there's 10 weeks. The stock is literally on a free fall. The largest swing to the downside right now. So um, yeah, pop will come, of course. The market is gonna rip like yesterday. Of course, everything. There's what 450 stocks, like 480 stocks or so yesterday were positive advance. Like 15 of them or something were decliners. Yeah, the pop will come. I mean, it's just not, but I'm just like thinking about is the company was The way they came out on their last earning, there's a like just crazy demand, and we got some insane buyers, or you know, um, they got huge contracts and this and that, and now they're running TikTok as well. Yeah, his brother runs the entire media. Palo Alto, man, this thing is beat up anyways for a long period of time. It's just these are, I mean, again, we can hunt for those. They're just a swing trade, a counter trend bounces. I always look for Sherwin Williams got a bit of a pop yesterday. We traded this one. This stock has been good to me. Knock on wood. This SMCI, there you go. Full stick close yesterday below 200-day moving average. Just it's half the market, man. It's just like, look, Uber. Oops. Close below 50. UNH back down here after the 61% dip, up 62%. Just it's gonna linger around 300 range for a while. Visa 10, 18. It's okay. Looks this is fine. You had to go that far. Just this is good enough to observe and watch. Yeah, 16, 13. See? Price always gonna fight. They're gonna, it's just that's the beauty I like about swing trading. Nobody knows the retracement is down, but at least it gives you a hint to how much was the previous swing retracement was and what is the one that's coming in play, right? Because the direction of the swing is down anyway. So you just kind of like, okay, 14.9 took 7 days, 4 days for 12.6. If it exceeded more on price, okay, then it means then it has to wait for the time to go. It has to call bar to bar relationship. The swing, that's how they work. Yeah, this stock took a lot of beating. Look at that. And we traded this. I traded this stock. Look, it just gives everything back. Very range bound. 51.35. Say 40 because it's fighting this. That's the problem. Yeah, yes. Over a 50% move. I mean, yeah, V reversal happens. Market just did it as well. Look where it fails. Right at 61.8 zone. From this peak to trough, 342 was once 61.8. High was 352. There you go. We washed out everything. Jeez. Look at the weekly time frame anyway. This is down for 16 weeks now. So it has already exceeded time, not the price. Time is already 16 versus 11. 5, 3, 8. Yeah, they're tough ones. Some of them are. And the other ones are all trading above 50. So it's half half. It's a half half. I mean, there's a good chance then. Um, there is a, I mean, anything you can make the case for the WXY. I mean, that's taken another secondary leg to the downside, but still a bit neutral and just play a 1 hour signal. That's the only thing I can say. We watch this. We watch this. Oops. No, what is that? Here. This. Yeah, market will stabilize this again. If the daily will turn, weekly still down. So just don't get yourself that confused. No, and don't get too excited yet either. So we'll see how it goes. So let's look at this one. Daily's down, daily's down, daily's down, daily's up. That's the see how value is given promise to all the some traders, you know. Well, long term is good, man, but still, I mean, it just a swing trade. I mean, I'm not I don't have any shares. I mean, you know, just wait for I'm gonna I don't think there's any anyways. So look for some weekly signals. I think I found three, four of them. That's all I could find. That was going into a. There is one Crocs got a buy signal here on daily chart. This ugly sandal. I mean, this thing is. Look at this. It's just literally sideways for a very long time. So there's one here of this, and APD. This one has the weekly has. Gonna go to the week. This one has a buy signal here. This air product. So this was of yesterday. I did yesterday or the other day. There's nothing else. I went through almost 500 stocks on the whole list. You still had a lower low. So this there is one air. I don't know what company. Air products. The CPD. That's the real estate. Remember, I just mentioned you that thing before rotation. This is the weekly. This is a. We just looked at them at 3 bars. The swing just turned up. This is a clean buy right here. Okay. So weekly swing is up, weekly buy signal is in. This is a real estate stock is the one to be in. Camden property, whatever, CPT. Um, this is one. Remember to catch something to 110. I don't know. This alpha is. Gee, some of that. So there's one here. There's a real estate, and the rotation looks good as well. So there's some upside of this one. Can start something here. There's another one. Is AON. I believe this is a utility. It's expensive stock. Okay, so it's a $346 stock. Has a double bottom right here. Um, a 3 bar hasn't confirmed yet, but it has a buy signal here against last week low. So this is all I could find because that's how nasty this market is right now against 331. So it could, no, this is something that this might get, this thing gets squeezed.
You're
See,
finding a lot of insurance stocks. You showed us
that's
HIG
what
and
I
now
feel.
AON. AON is also insurance.
Yeah, that's all it is. We're looking for a structure. That's where this building. The rest of the names, there's nothing. So we just have to take it easy for a while. Keep the cash, When the time comes in like this, yeah, we just go in. Yeah, weekly structure. Remember this is the engine, so don't ignore these ones. There's money to be made here as well. Stock trades, but this is the expensive one. But the CPT stock, I wouldn't pass on. The you can get some real estate exposure here on this name. Yeah, this one can, if it goes, this is an 8 swing move. I mean, it's gonna go. Okay. So I can just simply give you a measured move. I'm gonna hold it with shears. Take this low to this, project it from here, equal distance 142. So that would be for next year. So I mean, some of these you're gonna have few of them here. If something can go like this, that's that's gonna be the move right there. Okay. Game of probability. That's all it is. There's nothing guaranteed. So I would I wouldn't draw this. There's got to be some sort of a divergence happening. I don't have those indicators and I don't follow them either. There's some sort of a divergence happening. This thing is squeezed. He just needs to make his room up. Yeah, being got this I got this RVTY, but it has a um weekly buy signal, as you can see right there, right? And then you go to this. See, it just gives you a much um, better odds of trade to play out. So if you plus obviously the rotation as well. So the weekly structure is very, very important. Let's just get the thing in your head. Okay, daily is just, we can play in between, but weekly is the engine. So that drives the car. Oh yeah, it's true. I know. He's gonna get the TikTok. Come on, his Larry's Ellison brother runs the entire media. He's gonna get TikTok for sure. Larry was there at the White House. It's just yeah, he'll be yeah. That's all it is. I went through the whole list the other night just to look through all the stocks into a different time frames and stuff. It's just a counter trend move at 2.93. He's facing the 50 here. That's going to be a first wall. The major wall is sitting right there at 93 if it's going to make it way up there to 93. Yeah. So, but look at the, the overall price though. You take this high, oops, and there is, yeah, you need 83.12. Oops, not here. 83.12 is to confirm this low. You need this trigger matrix to get rid of this pink dot. Signal first. Second confirmation comes from here when the trend resumes. When the trend is gonna it will be enough time and price by the time it's gonna reach that mark It's gonna fire that blue dot, and then the trend does it. But first, signal first, dot later, not the other way around. So I was always debating, is price making a lower lows, lower lows, lower lows over a period of time. Okay, fine. Buy signal triggers, meets the condition, buyers comes in, all that kind of stuff. Okay, when does the actual buy signal that triggered in the bottom actually turns after a couple days into an established trend? So measure a couple, throw a couple moving averages and VWAP and, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been debating, kind of playing around, watching, a lot of these triggers later trade. But focus is on this. Don't worry about those darts and stuff. Those are for me for anyway. So okay. All right. INOD. Oh well, it's been under a sell signal for quite a bit of time. You need 72 to reverse the course. So you need a, this was strong buy right there. Damn. Oh, you don't get to see that. Huh, interesting. You got a blue dot and you got a 41.27 on the same day. Man, if I would ever come across like this, I would load a boat against this kind of a risk to the downside. Yeah, that doesn't happen. I don't even, this is the first one I'm looking at here. It's just to match those two because they're two different conditions. Um, this the weekly is, yeah, weekly is a sell as well. This just triggered a pink dot this week. Stock is up 30%. It's up. If this kind of move can hold, I mean, it's right at that 200 now. Oh, so if it can, there's a pretty good chance that it might get a bit of an upside from here. If it's this, you have to watch this 200. It's sitting at 52.30. So watch this one and see. I don't know what your entry is. Oh, 62. It's not that bad. You're right here. Not that far. You're right here. So you're basically right between, technically in between 250 in this sandwich zone. Yeah, wait few days if you have time. You have shares or you have options?
Cheers.
Oh, you only have shares? Well, then you have time. Don't freak out. Jeez. If you have to light up the position, just cut a half. Don't cut the whole thing all in one shot. If you're gonna free up some cash, and we can do that way, half, and just buy something else for half. You know, and don't exit the whole. If you have shares, just like take the entire thing off all in one shot. Just do half or one fourth or whatever. Free up that money, buy something else, and we'll see. You don't know. Shares are just way different than options. Options are just nasty with especially the volatility and the way they're pumping right. This one has 91% implied volatility. Wow. S&P right now is at 23. Not that bad. I mean, 30 is considered technically much higher. It's 24 on the SPY. The Q's 30. It's always because it moves a little bit more than a SPY, so it's always going to be a little bit higher. You see, like, it's just, I mean, okay, last chart is this. It's down for 4 weeks now, which is has happened very, very few times. But five is just the extreme. Like that's only happened once. Okay. So this is four consecutive lower closes on IWM. So next week we need to break 239 to have at least a one higher bar. Okay. See, we don't have it. So we need a one higher bar. So daily swing is down. Okay. So this is this. Um, if next week goes, I hope it will. I don't think it's gonna come back down to 228. We're just gonna try to see if we can poke above this 239 next week just to see if we could get up to this kind of a zone. Okay, right there. So I drew a channel here, but it's irrelevant for now unless we got the huge move back to the upside. So anything can happen, but this just gonna um, this this. We'll see. Okay. Show is over. Go get a move. I'm tired. This thing started the year off so high. Um, I know the year high and low. Yeah, see, it started off so damn high. Like last year high is right here. Look at that. Right, right here. So it's just it kind of, I mean, it's gonna go. It's gonna take some time. I think when this weekly swing turns up, yeah, we're gonna go back in. And right now, we just gotta play a little small move, to be honest. This is a lot of time. 5 weeks, 9.4% dip. 7, 3, 1, 5, 5.9. It's 9.4, 9.7 for 3. That's 4. So what does that happen after that? 4 weeks, 9.6. So if it reverses 9.4 of this low, 9.4 will put you right here. Here. Somewhere I can stop in my head. Right here. So I have a percentage, so I'm just gonna give you the exact move. Yeah, 240 is the net. It's this. That's the move for now. Nothing else. I get too excited yet. This the percentage saying is going to automatically calculate the spec the just this next move to the upside. I have them in there. 240. Um, this is a weekly. We can go to a daily. Really hoping. Let me see. Let's see what 68.48 will be the. If this low holds, this is the minimum upside expected move. Is 68.48. I did it on it ended yesterday as well. SPY is 683. This low must hold. If you're gonna make a new low, the number's gonna reset. Okay. QQQ 609. 609. I mean 240, 609. Okay. How's the overall month? Man, how they smoke this seasonality this month is crazy. S&P with a lower monthly bar. Okay, so don't expect a reversal, to be honest. This has to turn into an outside reversal bar, and I really, really don't want that thing to be happen, to be honest, if you ask me. That's just not going to be a good sign. If you're going to top out like this. Okay, so you have a lower monthly bar, just let it close. The market is in a 100% correction mode right now in a smaller time frame, on the weekly to a daily time frame. Now, you don't want to do this. Like, you don't want to engulf this bar, expecting a move next week to close the bar or a month. It's a monthly bar. That will turn it like this. And look what happened. And you don't want a blue bar up on the top on a run. That's gonna be very damn challenging to make the case for the next month. Just let it be. It's not. I don't think it's gonna go there. I don't think so. 4 days, you can't expect a 5.5% the upside. Based on what? So
So
very
Mo,
hard.
those 683 on the SPY and the 609 is
It's the
December's target? Is December's target or is it
no, that is
next
a
week?
target for now as long as the low holds.
For next week or for like 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks, doesn't matter. It could take 3 weeks, it could take 4 weeks.
Okay,
But the
okay.
low has to hold. You make a new low, that the number is gonna reset. But that just all um on a little bigger time frame on daily, but we're not chasing any daily. We're just gonna trade only one hour signal. Okay. Because daily and weekly both signals are down now. So there's no, I'm not gonna sit here and make the bull case. I've told you this thing many, many times. Direction is up, you look up. When direction is down, you only look down. There's nothing to look to the upside.
Will
Until
you be looking at December options or January options for those 1 hour signals?
I'm trying to go a little bit more because I want to pay the front end IV. The implied volatility is high. So I'm trying to go a little bit after. It's the same premium. It depends like how you structure the trade. Prefer is butterflies because it's gonna first it's a lot less debit. Okay, on a butterfly, you can always tilt them more to the to the downside. So it's always gonna be ideal move. It's always gonna be a butterfly when IV is high. We don't want to go into any kind of margin trading, do any credit spreads and stuff. Screw that. Okay. Verticals are even worse right now because risk to reward is just not attractive because of it's not the one that you're selling the call, it's the one that you're buying the call. It just is, you're paying more for the spread. So your best bet right now on any given trade is directional butterflies. Okay. Just either you want to play it bullish, tilt it up, you want to pull it down, tilt it down. So you're gonna have a very less negative theta. So the premium is really not gonna cost you much just to hold the trade. If the trade goes down, you're gonna make money right away. There's no doubt. If it goes up, you're gonna make money as well. But you're just not gonna lose any time, you know. So when I make them, I go through few expirations and stuff, and just to kind of see how to structure it properly. So at least if the price does dip down, you're just not getting killed on time. You just given what the expected, what the price decline is based on the delta that you're carrying on the overall trade. So we'll see. I mean, I um, I have a screen here. I mean, there's some. I was actually putting drawing some different. I have my right side monitor. I'm gonna have to. Where is the share? What is this? Oh, one. Okay. Did you see this one now? This is this is my right side monitor. So these are all 1 hour signals right there. We have S&P, SPY, Qs, IWM, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Netflix. Okay. So these are all hourly signals. So the one that we took right now is this one against this. Okay. So price comes a dip this to yeah, well, the show is over. That's it. Out. Instantly. There's just no second guessing. Just got the trade. Okay. If they're gonna move fast. You can scalp 2 3 points, get out. I mean, you really don't have to wait for me to come and put food in your mouth. Act a little bit for trim half size, you can do that. These are hourly bars. Okay, they're not some daily structure is building over time. So it's just you gotta move fast. Okay, you want to size up a little bit more, you can do it because your risk is all here. Okay, so this thing's gonna move really fast. There are levels here that I watch, and some darts, confirmations, this and that, and just keep them here on the right side. And if I feel like it, I trade. If I don't, I'm doing something else. Okay. So this will be the screen that liquidity is there, all the action is there, volume, everything is here on these. This is what it is. Nothing else. Okay. I'm gonna be able to find something out of here. So this is gonna be our board for some time until we get more price clarity on the rotation, you know, if the scan is going to start picking up more names, because right now it's brutal, man. It's just, when I tell you something, just wait. This is not good. Yeah, this is like a joke. I'm scanning the 500 stars. It's just this. I know what it was a couple weeks ago. All the last 2 months, the trades that we did like 15, close to like 15, 16 trades. That how many of them I found? There was like a tons of scans that time. This is when market is moving up, and even the fact that it's not all stocks were going up, it's just that's why we filter and we put our bets on something that has has a probability it could move. But again, just this, but the point is that 15 names out of 500 stocks is a joke, to be honest. Okay, we need a lot more names. And the reason why I showed you half the side was already trading below the 50 and 200, while the other half is up. So it's technically a mixed market. It's just literally the market just willing to take a break to kind of go sideways for this rotation to play out. When the rotation improves, we're going to be the first one to know. Trust me, this scanner is going to start picking up really fast scans. It's just patience, edge. Remember that. Costco is the death cross. I'm not dying to trade that stock, to be honest. It's technically broken. If I really want to force something, I'll just find something on an hourly. If I really want Costco, because I'm not dying for the $900 stock. It's not that cheap to trade, anyways. And then some of the other names, like just they got a bit of pop right there. You see them because the momentum is picking up. You see the crossover? That's what we need. So it's all there. It's all scripted. It's all there. You have nothing to worry about. Just focus on a scan. When the scan happens, and that's when you and we're done. That's those are our entries. From here goes to the other screen. The two-step process. Full scan here, go to the other screen, type the ticker in there. It gives you a buy. That's it. There's no buy. These are all sell. You know, like, I don't know, LYV. What is this, Live Nation? See, just it's not ready. I show you. I already checked them, so I don't even like some of these names. I don't even look at them. Look at that PTC. I mean, it's showing some starting to show some sign of life, some sort of a dead cat bounce or whatever. But again, is the strength, the overall structure is just a broken system. GWW is going to be expensive. It's not a good thing. Yeah, that's a $950 stock. This one is a buy signal. See, this confirms. It's like trading Costco. So this one had a good volume yesterday. Got a bit of a pop. Here's a 50 here, 200 here. Got a little choppy. Got to work to do to make it to the upside. The point is you need blue ones. They're not red. Red is just not ready yet. Blue will confirm. It's just so close to that benchmark. So you got a bit of a pop right there because the momentum is picking up. It's turning blue. That's why. Still has a buy right there, the sell right there. It's just too choppy. I don't even know this company. See how sideways the price action is. You need something that trends like a trend that moves up, and then something like this, some sort of a pullback or just kind of goes sideways, and then it triggers and goes like this. You need something like this. And look at this. Geez, this is like you make a move here. I don't even think, I don't know. Too range bound. Oops. Some quality names will come and then we'll run a CSX. Just I don't even see nothing yet. It's a sandwich trade right there. That was a nice run. A setback, FTNT, just sideways chop. See, just there's nothing there. I don't want to force. Just don't force trades. I want to buy. I want to buy. I want to buy as well. I'm not the only one sitting and will want to put your money in. Of course, I want to do the same thing, but you just have to wait. There's nothing there. We need 100 plus. You know, we can I can expand the search if you want to go from. If you want to really say like, well, I really want to trade and I cannot sit on my hands. If you want to do that, I can expand the search. You can go to S&P 1500. The 1500 is going to pull up some names. Now you're going 500 plus another 1,000 more stocks. You see, the list is growing now. It's gonna go. So it's gonna be plenty. Here you can find say 61. That's still not enough. If you're looking for 1500, should be way more right there. The 61 stocks. You see these names that we just looked them up, WST, they're all here, plus you adding another 1,000 more names. Now you see Sherwin-Williams still there as well. Osco is still there. KBH, SC, like some of these names, like I don't even know these companies. I don't even know liquidity and stuff. It's just kind of hard bet. Like GFF has a momentum picking up. So you got a big pop yesterday, but no buy yet. Just gonna go through them one by one. BLFS. What is this? Look at the pop right there. So it's picking up. They're coming. The $26 stock. Stock moved like 1.24 ATR. It's gonna the scanner. I have how everything's set up. I know how it works and what to look for, and it just is something is TMD. Like these are random. These are like desperate trading. And this one has a buy signal here. So if you look at the whole thing, ooh, this might break out, man. No, look at this back and forth, back and forth. It looks like some sort of a triangle, babe. This one might go this time, to be honest. With Transmed's, the stock is up 109. It's a very strong stock. Wow. I don't mind just play a post triangle thrust. Ah, it's just play this post triangle thrust. This is a good one, dude. Go A, B, C, D, E. That's your one. This is your two. This is the one we're looking now at the third wave to the upside. This one is gonna go. Healthcare sector is doing pretty good anyway. So this one is so post triangle thrust of the 1-2. above 50 to 200, bullish, beautiful. Yeah, structure is definitely there. So if we take a measured move from here to here, be 144, 130, 144, 144, 153. So the measured move just from here that I have to measure, go back and take the triangle highs and lows and run more upside from there. But this is the stock moves 8.8. That's a good stock. I don't know how the liquidity is. That's a mover right there. Now for a trade. It's making the stock right here. Rid of all this. This. Yeah, it's trending now, so we just want to go this way. Okay. So yeah, I just have the only the only way you find this, you just have to expand this thing to if you want to go to a small cap, well, because the Russell is small cap 600. These are the ones that are companies that actually makes money. Okay, they have a little balance, kind of better balance sheets and stuff. There's 33 names better than the S&P, to be honest. This is out of 600. You got 33 names here compared to 500. You have 15 names there. You see the difference? It's going to take a few more days and then it's going to have a better rotation will improve. Yeah, these are all the small caps. B, no, this one really looked at small cap, GFF. I don't know. This is the one we looked at right there. Transnet. Oh no, hang on. Did I run the same thing again? No, it's a small cap. This way. Let's consider it a small cap. VTOL. This. Yeah, there's nothing there. It has to match. Then we'll confirm this. What is run? The stock is sideways. Good. I always try to find something here because they're far away from the center. So I was going to give a much better delta. TFSS. Oh boy. Not gonna fight my life on that one. Let's see. Oh. And I'm just these are all see this no liquidity $23 stock. One
If you're
dollar.
looking at healthcare small cap, you could look at TXG. It is doing well.
T
Looks like a TXG.
P
No, T for Tom.
S G.
TXG.
Oh yeah, it's open. This thing has just been consolidating for such a there you go. This is what you call a breakout right there. It's been going since 11. You see? Huge move up.
Looks like a
So,
third wave has started of some sort.
yeah, I mean, if you're just gonna take the measured move of this low to this low, yeah, 19th is almost there. 1938 is a minimum upside. So like another dollar left to the two measured moves. Since April to this, down here to this. A nice thing, I got a blue dot right there. So your downside is protected until 1397 on this one. The buy signal triggered here, confirmation was here, and then that's it, then it goes. See, it takes several days, a week, week and a half or so, just to trying to nail the bottom and get a price in to play the move to the upside. And how far does it go? Well, you just measure the move, and that would be just the expected minimum upside. Well, it takes what this been news going since what, October 1st. So we had what, October 1st, September 22nd. So that's almost 2 months, give or take. I mean, it will be next week, will be 2 months. So it's 2 months of a price action, but you have a couple whipsaws here until this breakout. That's the confirmation right there. It's been side. These are my favorite charts. Like this. Make a move, go sideways for some time, okay, exhaust everyone, and then resume right back up. That's the perfect thing, whatever those wake off, whatever. Some people track those accumulation distribution phases. That's what it is.
So what kind of a scan would something like this have showed up when two months ago for you? Like we're doing the scans right now.
Oh,
What can we ask you to look at, when we start seeing something like this? Because you don't track these smaller names typically.
you have to tell me, and it's here. You have to go back when it was 2 months ago. So it was there somewhere here. It made it all the way up till here now. So it was blue before, the way we're looking at here, you see?
But is it a small cap sector? Like which scan of yours would pick up things like this?
What what company is this?
The
What company?
medical biotech.
Oh, it's a biotech?
Mhm.
Yeah, biotech, it could be, depends where the stock is. Um, so gotta have to,
2.3 billion market cap now. 2.3 billion market cap.
I mean, there, what was this guy? One of the guy was asking about a market breadth. I have a data here, so this is the S&P. This is all the market breadth you can make. So you don't have to go that deep. What is I have to, if you want to look at a small cap, real estate, consumer, mid cap, 200. Yeah, individual name, I think you have to just pull it up manually. Because if I run a scan on healthcare stocks, so I don't know if this is in a healthcare, it's only these are the strong names. What is it called? TXG?
Yeah, TXG. When it triggered a buy signal, it would have been around 1.9 billion. Is that considered small or mid cap? 1.9 billion market cap. Now it's 2.2 billion market cap, but at that time it must have been about just below 2
The
billion.
filter is, I had a, I don't know what the heck happened to the, I don't want to run all 600. You're not going to be able to see any. Hang on, do this filter TXG. Go to the T. No, it's not here. It's got to be in the biotech sector, so it could be in a sector class. TXG, yes, nothing here. No, it's not a mid cap. We can do it.
Google says it's a mid cap.
Oh, it's a mid cap? Let's see.
Google says it's a mid cap.
Okay, let's see here.
technically a SMID, SMID, small to mid cap range.
EX. Yeah, there's only two of them here. It's Energy and a Texas Roadhouse. They don't just done. They doesn't have them as a. It's probably they probably had them under the biotech sector. Yeah.
No problem. I was just checking to see how we could pick these up early because I got this from another source, but I'm okay. I got in
If
about
you
50,
have
50.
individual stock that okay, if you sitting and over the weekend and stuff, and you kind of come across a certain stuff, it happens to everyone. It's like, hey, I just kind of like the fundamentals, like balance sheets, growth, this and this looks good, and then you can tell me on Monday at the open, like, hey, can you look up this chart for me? I can pull it up for you to see how it looks like. So if you want to check some weekly swing that just kind of see if it has a weekly signal or something, it's something you can always put them into a watch list. Even the fact that it doesn't have a buy signal yet, but we can keep checking every week, because one of those weeks, once it will put up on low, it's gonna, a week or two, it's gonna fire a signal. And you want to cash that one. So I filter these ones because I filter these one based on momentum, not just individual, because I cannot go one by one on a list because it takes a lot of time, tick by tick by tick, like you be like, so I filter them. So yeah, just write it down, check in the morning on Monday because Monday, as soon as Monday opens, it will show me the weekly signals, okay, for this week that we just ended. Because it's all based on close though, because now it's weekend, I cannot see anything, you know. So Friday was a good day. So I don't think there's gonna be anything excited or whatever is gonna happen just on one single session anyway. So if the price already has a sell signal, the point is like it has a one session pop, that doesn't mean it's gonna change everything, you know. So but we'll see if how the board looks like on Monday at the open. And I have my finger crossed and I'm really, really hoping that we don't get some weekly action on because the swing is down. I know that, and I have a feeling that it will happen because this, you know, when the engine is just kind of starting to break, I mean, it's gonna affect. But we'll see. Don't wanna, I don't want to put any kind of a bear gloves on. As I said, if that happens, so I will um, put a bearish butterfly to the downside for sure for for a couple weeks. So we'll see. And we're just gonna keep hunting 1 hour. That's my plan. So look out trades based on 1 hour signals, and the hedge based on the weekly sell signal is gonna trigger after the swing is down. We're gonna just leave the hedge to the downside and just keep hunting these smaller trades on a smaller time frame because most of them are, there's not rotation is not attractive. And the board right now is flooded with sell signals across the board. Okay, so there's nothing to fight to the upside at the moment. It's going to take some time. We'll need some more price clarity. Once we get that, RRG is trying to pick up, not the back and forth market breadth, then the things will improve for sure. But it's going to take time. So if there's one guy showing you a WXY and one guy showing you an ABC and the third guy showing you a 1-2 count to the downside, I mean, fine, you can entertain everything. That doesn't matter. You can make a case for anything. That doesn't mean anything in the end. That's how exactly it's going to play out. We need multiple confirmation to see exactly which way the market is actually trending. Yeah, this half session, that's why I just wanted to show you things because these are the things what I look for. It just mm, half the market is below 5,200, other one is above 50 and 200. That's a mixed market. That's all it is. So there's a very, very good chance. I could be wrong, you know, but there's a very good chance this market is going to go sideways for some time now, unless we just rip all the way back to the highs. I mean, that's not like it cannot happen. Of course, it can. But looking at Microsoft closing below 200 and some of these other names that just showing some weakness, it seems like technically they're flat for the year. You need some the only two stocks that we could make a case right now is Apple and Google. Google's already probably just gonna most likely run out of gas pretty soon. See, Apple and Google are the only two swings that up right now. Rest are all down. So how are we gonna expect a 5.5% move in a matter of 1 week? Nvidia couldn't do it. That S&P made a new high. Even the fact that the market did open higher, right? But it's nice. It's up. So you're talking, geez, almost a four and a what? Over a 4%. 4%, yeah, I would say four standard deviation move. Okay, take like 100 points roughly, right? 100 point DTR, ATR doesn't even reflect that. How can you like a 1 week? Okay, you're looking for a four standard deviation move for swing to flip. I see zero probability for it, to be honest. Zero. Yeah, once the swing is down, it's gonna take time. It doesn't flip that fast. I know that for sure. Welcome to a fourth nasty wave correction that everybody was dying to have. You couldn't stand the market was going up so much, and now it's pulling back, and everybody's crying. Now it's not going up. Yeah, it's crazy how everything thinks, huh? About the overall market. It was up, everybody hates it. One market is up for 7 months in a row. Now it's down for 1 month, and and nobody can stand this weakness. Oh, now we need to go back up. We will. If you are a investor, if I mean, if you do trade swings, all this and that, which we all do that. But if you start looking at the bigger picture, I don't. That's all you need. Okay, you gotta let this thing work over time. That's where the wealth is made, in the bigger picture, not in the smaller time frames. So just to keep that thing in mind, we're only halfway through. We have a lot of room to the upside. And if you ever see a 3/4 down, you have to if you have to sell your kidney, yeah, sell it. It's old anyways. You can always buy a new one. Just buy the damn market. You ever as this is doesn't happen. I mean, but we'll see. Oh, okay. Have a good rest of the day. Have a good weekend.